Good morning. In today's reflection, we hear about the Blessed Mother hastily heading towards the house of her cousin Elizabeth. And I guess during the excitement, when they were greeting each other, Elizabeth, before hearing or seeing the Blessed Mother, actually heard her voice first. And then the story goes, the baby in her womb, John the Baptist, leapt with joy. But more than that, we hear her saying, "And who am I that the mother of my Lord should come to visit me?" And then she caps it off by saying, "Truly blessed are you for believing what God had revealed to you," having that faith. Now, the word that I want to use today, which I learned from a Carmelite priest in this morning's Mass, was the word anaphoneia. Anaphoneia is a Greek word that is used in the New Testament to describe the reaction of Elizabeth. And her reaction was an exclamation filled with joy, literally shouting. Now, the word anaphoneia was never used again in the New Testament. But in the Old Testament, it alluded to that event when King David had asked to move, the Ark of the Covenant from Gibeon to Jerusalem. And there, if you remember that story, King David was jumping for joy. And he was saying, "How is it that the Ark of the Covenant should come to me?" And it's the same thing, the parallelism that is in this today's feast day, a day for women, womanhood. Imagine the Blessed Mother, the mother of our God, going to her cousin, an elderly cousin, the mother of John the Baptist, Saint John the Baptist. And Saint John the Baptist was mistaken for the Messiah, because he was another holy person living in the desert like a wild man. But the point is, anaphoneia is something about joy. And it's the Blessed Mother hurriedly heading to share the good news, like, "Hey, I'm gonna have a baby too." And then the significance of that was King David jumping that the Ark of the Covenant came to him. Elizabeth exclaiming with unbridled joy, "How is it that the Lord, the mother of my Lord, came to me?" So there's some parallel here. But again, the Ark of the Covenant, one step backwards here, carried with it the law of the Ten Commandments, manna from the desert, and the priestly staff of Aaron. So in making a deeper parallel, you have the Blessed Mother carrying the Word of God, the bread of life, and the royal priesthood, from the order of Melchizedek. And that's Christ, the Christ. So the Blessed Mother is the new ark, the new covenant. All right? And so, wow, when you really unpack that, it's significant, because these are unsung heroes, the women. If you're a Catholic and you're praying the rosary, you have the Annunciation where the angel came, and told Mary, "Okay, are you okay with this?" And she goes, "Fiat, yes, go." And then followed by, the Visitation. There you go, today's celebration. And then after that, the birth of Christ. And then from there, the presentation of the infant Jesus in the temple. The mothers, the women, the unsung heroes, they're the ones that are fulfilling all of the stuff that you don't read about in the Bible or in the Gospels. You don't hear about it. I mean, you know, the infant Jesus had to be brought in the temple according to the Mosaic law. On the 8th day, the infant had to be circumcised. And there, guess what? St. Joseph, okay, the Blessed Mother, Jesus, and the prophetess Anna, who lived in the temple, never left the temple. She prophesied about Jesus. And the holy man, the priest, Simeon, okay, he carried Jesus. All right? This guy was the translator of the some parts of Isaiah, the book of Isaiah. And he kind of doubted about the Blessed Mother. So God said, I will let you live until you see this, until you see it happen. So they say he was around 300 years old before he actually saw Jesus. So some of these things, the holy men of the temple were there. Now, fast forward to the last mystery. The presentation of the young man Jesus in the temple. At the age of 12, during the Paschal feast, families would go to Jerusalem. But there, at 12 years old, Jesus was not a young man. He was an adult. All right? So everybody thought, okay, it's time to go home. Blessed Mother and Joseph went home. And then Jesus was left behind. So they're like, oops, where is he? Why isn't he amongst us, pilgrims, right? So they had to hurry back and look for him in Jerusalem. And there he was in the temple. And what was he doing? At the age of 12, an ordinary Jewish young man had to memorize the 5 books. Okay? Genesis, Exodus, okay? Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, memorized. So when Mary walks in the temple, oh, what are you doing? We've been looking all over, but you say, woman, don't you know I'm about my Father's business? The women are always there, the unsung hero. Now here it comes, the last unsung hero, which I really love this guy, Saint Joseph. Not a word of Saint Joseph in the Bible, not a word. But as a father, I can just imagine, the due diligence, the enormous amount of faith to want to marry, the Blessed Mother. And in silence, he did everything. Took care of Jesus, took care of the Blessed Mother. Okay, silently went off, nothing. And the Blessed Mother, all her years, always pointing to Jesus. Nothing of her. Okay? And all nations will call me blessed. Okay. Beginning with the cousin Elizabeth. How did they know? How did they know? Now, Elizabeth, she is from the order of Levites. Okay? Going back to the tribe of Aaron. Priesthood. Zechariah, the father, Elizabeth, are Levites. All right? So, passing it on to the one that will precede Jesus, John the Baptist, St. John the Baptist. They are priesthood. Now, the difference between the priesthood of Jesus and the priesthood of Aaron, the Aaronic priesthood, is Jesus is not only, okay, from the order of Melchizedek. And if you know Melchizedek is the king of Salem, all right, that is a royal priesthood. Never is unheard of that in the Old Testament you would have a king and a priest at the same time. So the order of Melchizedek is a royal priesthood forever, because Melchizedek had no genealogy and he just disappeared in Genesis. Never heard of. They say he's Jesus. So, first time, okay, royal priesthood, God even. Brothers and sisters, there's so many things I want to unpack with you. Please continue to subscribe, like, comment. Let's share your thoughts. Come on. I want to hear what you have to think. All right? Anaponea, shout it out with joy. Like, wow, I love you, Jesus. I love you, Blessed Mother. Continue our journey together. God bless you. Have a great day. I'll see you again tomorrow hopefully to share some of your comments. God bless you. Love you.